Okay, we're going to learn some new chords, and we're going to start with the full C chord. Earlier we learned what I would call a partial C chord. It was 4 strings. Typically a guitarist will play 5 strings, so it's the same chord that you played earlier. Now we're going to take our 3rd finger, add it to the 5th string on the 3rd fret, which is the note C. And that's a full C chord. This is a 5-string chord, so you want to try to avoid the bottom string because that's not part of the chord. It won't really sound good. Play all 5 strings and that's your C chord. Now, the next chord we're going to play is an A minor. I'll show you a little trick. If you're still on this C chord, leave your 1st and 2nd fingers exactly where they are. Take your 3rd finger and move it into the center. So it's on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and that would be an A minor chord. Again, it's a 5-string chord. So we've got open A, E on the 2nd fret, A, 2nd fret, C, 1st fret, and open E. And that's a good little exercise if you just want to practice C, A minor, C, A minor. And all you're doing is moving one finger to make the transition from one to the next. The next chord we're going to play is D minor. If you remember, we already played a D major chord. So 3 of the notes are the same. The bottom D, the A, and the D. Those are all the same. But instead of having an F sharp, 2nd fret, on top of the chord, we're going to have an F natural. You can hear the minor sound right away. Now, in order to do that, I do need to rearrange all my fingers, even though 3 of the notes are in common. Just in order to play that F, I have to rearrange my fingers. So I've got open D, I've got 2nd finger on A, 3rd finger on D, and 1st finger on F. And that's a D minor. I think this is the first time we know both a major and a minor chord. And I can tell you, you'll hear a lot about major and minor. That's probably the prime sound in music, is the difference between major and minor. It's one of the most important things. We call those chord qualities. And you might want to get used to listening to the difference. For example, play a D major chord. I don't know how you would describe it. Some people say it's a happy chord. It's a consonant chord. It's not dissonant. You might say it's pretty. If we go to D minor, you can hear the difference immediately. Some people will describe that as sad, or melancholy, or mysterious. Here's major, and here's minor. When you learn your chords, it's a good idea to listen to them carefully and try to hear, what is the quality? Is it major? Is it minor? Is it sad? Is it not? Is it mysterious? These are good things to sort of assign to the chords as you're listening to them and as you're playing them. Chord study is designed to help you move through most of the chords you've learned so far, especially these 3 brand new ones. I think you can do that at home. This next song we're going to play is called Roots of Rock, and it uses the C and the A minor and the D minor that we just learned, and it uses the G7 that we learned earlier. It introduces, or we've done it actually before, is the Arpeggio Style, where we play the chords, but we play them one note at a time. So if you look at the first measure, you'll see it's the C chord played one note at a time. And then the next measure is the A minor chord played one note at a time. Okay, so you're going to hold the whole chord, then pick out the appropriate strings as needed. I'll play that part, and then Jared is going to improvise a simple strumming accompaniment behind me using the full chords that you already know. At home, I'd like you to do the same thing. Play along with the recording. Definitely play the notated part, but then also just improvise a strumming part using the chords and try to find a part that just sounds nice to you. 1, 2, 3, 4.